So, hello everyone, my name is Vivek and I'm your mathematics knowledge coach. In today's class, we are going to learn about surface areas and volumes of some 3D figures. 3D figures means three-dimensional figures. So, basically, we will be studying about cube, which all of you know. This is nothing but a rectangular prism, or you can also call it as a rectangular box. This is nothing but a cylinder. Here we have this as cone. This is hemisphere and this is a sphere. In your ASVAB exam, basically you will be asked about cube, rectangular prism and cylinder most of the time. And we'll try to focus on those particular areas in depth. So let us move on to our first slide. So guys, if you have some time, you should write these formulas down. So basically, I'll just say it with you guys. The surface area formula of cube is nothing but 6 times a square, where a is nothing but the length of the side of the cube, whereas the volume is nothing but a cube. The rectangular prism formula is nothing but 2 times length time width plus 2 times length time the height plus 2 times the length, 2 times the width time the height. You can also rewrite it as like this: 2 bracket or parenthesis length times width plus length times height plus width times height. And you can even interchange. It can become LW plus LH plus WH, or it can become WH plus LH plus LW. It doesn't matter. Okay. And the volume is nothing but length times width times height. Length times width times the height of the rectangular box. Cylinder basically. The surface area of cylinder will be nothing but 2 times pi times r. In parenthesis, we have h, which is height, plus the radius. And the volume is going to be nothing but pi r square h. The cone's surface area would be nothing but pi r l plus r, where L is the slant height. L is equal to slant height. And it can be calculated using this formula. Now, the volume of the cone will be nothing but 1/3 pi r square h. The sphere is nothing but 4 pi r square. The surface area of sphere is 4 pi r square and its volume is 4 by 3 pi r cube. Now, when you're studying for your ASVAB, the main formulas that you guys need to remember are nothing but the surface area of the cube, the volume of the cube, then we have the surface area of the cylinder, of the rectangular prism, the volume of the rectangular prism, then we have this formula, which is the surface area of cylinder and the volume of the cylinder. These two, they are not asked, but you can just note it down, and we'll be further focusing on these three aspects only in this class: cube, rectangular prism and cylinder. I hope you guys have written it down. Remember, if you write it down now, you'll be able to remember it. And if you're not writing it down now, how will you get it into your exams, guys? Please make sure that you write down the formulas, because if you take the screenshots, it does not work out. How many times have you even gone through the screenshots that you are taken for the previous few classes? I think it's very minimal time. I want you to write it down in your notebook and we will move on. So let's move on to the next slide. Next slide is nothing but about cube. Now, if you observe carefully, cube basically has 6 shape, like 6 faces, and all of it is going to have the same dimension. That is why it is a cube, right? So A, and A, this is for the height. Now, if you just make it into a net, if you spread it out, so this all these dimensions are going to be equal to nothing but A only. And if you want to find the surface area of each of these faces. What do? Let's take this square first. The surface area of a square is nothing but a times a, which is a square. Now this is one a square, another a square, another a square, another a square, one more and one more. So what do we have? There are six same surfaces of a cube. So the area of a surface area of a cube would be nothing but equal to, let me write it down, a square plus 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 a square, which is nothing but 6a square. So that is the surface area of your cube. I hope you have written it down. Please write down the formulas because it is going to be helpful for you for solving the further questions. Now, here we have the volume of the cube. Remember one thing, I'm going to give you a standard formula for finding volume of anything. Volume is nothing but the base area times the height. So we need to find the base of any particular figure. Now let's say here there is a square over here. So what will be the area of this base? It will be nothing but a times a. And what is the height? Height is also a over here. So volume is nothing but a times a times a, which is a cubed. So write it down, guys. The volume of a cube is nothing but a cube, and volume of any particular 3D shape or any particular 3D figure would be nothing but the base area times its height. Let's move on for solving some questions so that we can apply the concept what we have learned till now. I'm going to solve the first two questions. The remaining questions, you guys are going to solve it. Now let me read the first question. The first question says, a square box has 6-inch sides. What's its volume? A square box means nothing but, guys, it is going to be a cube. So if they are saying it is a square box, that means what? Cube. And if you want to find the volume of the cube, what do we have? A cubed, where a is nothing but a side length. So what will I do now? Volume equals to a is 6 cubed. So 6 cubed means what? 6 times 6 times 6. 6 times 6 is nothing but 36 times 6. I'll solve it down for you guys. 36 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36 again. Put the 3 over here. 6 times 3 is 18 plus 3 is nothing but 21. So we have 216 cubic inches as our answer. I hope you guys understood this question. Do you want me to explain it once again, or did you understand it? Frederick, Jacob, Daniel, Julie, please show me a thumbs up if you understood this question. Jacob, got it? Daniel, did you understand it, buddy? Frederick? Yep, Frederick got it. Daniel also got it. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question says, it's a little bit tricky now. If the volume of the cube is 8 centimeter cube, the cube basically, the 3 should go up. What is the length of the cube? Now let's say volume is equal to 8 centimeter cube. What are they asking us? They're asking us the length of the cube. As we already know, volume is nothing but a cube, where a is the side, and it is given as equal to 8. So what would I do now? If a cube is equal to 8, I'll take cube root on both sides. Taking cube roots on both sides, what do we have? A cube to the third root, whereas 8 to the third root. Now, a cube, like cube root of a cube will be nothing but equal to a, and the cube root of 8 is nothing but equal to 2. What does that mean? 8 is equal to 2 to the power 3. So if we are putting down the cube root for both of them, What do we have? Cube root of 8 will be equal to 2. That is how we got our answer. So with that knowledge, let's move on to the next question. Guys, the next question is for you. I'm going to put a timer in my mobile phone. So for 2 minutes, in those 2 minutes, you guys need to solve it. Your time starts now. I think I already have an answer. The answer is from Daniel. Awesome, Daniel. You got it right. And you solved it in just 15 seconds. Awesome. Come on, Frederick, Daniel, Julie. Julie got it right. Awesome, Julie. Jacob got 125. Awesome. Frederick, waiting for you, buddy. Awesome. All of you got the answers. Let's move on to the next question. Here is your next question, and you guys need to find the perimeter of the single square, not the whole cube. Your time starts now. Initially, find the length of a side, then multiply it by 4 times, you'll get your perimeter of that particular square. I already have an answer. Length 4. Awesome, Jacob. Yes, you got the length right. Now you need to get the perimeter of that particular square. How much would that be? If you remember, we did this in the first class. Perimeter of a square is nothing but 4 times the length. Daniel got 16. Awesome, Daniel. Julie got B. Awesome. Frederick, did you get it, buddy? Can you explain for me? Sure, buddy. Why not? Okay, let me explain it for you. So here, a square box has a volume of 64 cubic inches. What's its perimeter? Now let's say volume is equal to a cube, where a is nothing but the side of the cube. Now if I write a cube is equal to 64, now I already know that 64 is nothing but equal to 4 times 4 times 4. A cube. A cube equals to 4 to the power 3. Now if we take the third root, or if we take cube root of on the both the sides, what will we get? A equals to 4. Now I got the side length as equal to 4. Now I need to get perimeter. Perimeter equals to 4 times A, which is nothing but 4 times 4, which is nothing but 16 inches. I hope you understood it. Okay. Frederick, did you get it, buddy? Or do you want me to explain some point in this? Okay, Frederick says I'm good. That's awesome. Let's move on to the next question. Find this, guys. Come on. A cube has a volume of 125 cubic inches. What is its surface area? Your time starts now. Solve it, guys. Come on. You initially need to find the length of the cube. Then you need to get its surface area. So the surface area of cube is nothing but 6a square. Daniel says, I think 150. Okay, let's wait for others. What is the length that you got, Daniel? Yep, length is 5. Frederick, did you get it, buddy? Julie, did you understand? Here, a cube volume is nothing but equal to 125. 125 is nothing but 5 times 5 times 5. A cube is equal to 5 cube. Taking cube roots on both the sides, we have A equals to 5, and the surface area of a cube is nothing but equal to 6a square, which is nothing but 6 times a square, which is nothing but 5 square. So what do we have? 6 times 25. So if I multiply 25 times 6, 6 times 5 is 30, carry the 3 over, 6 times 5, 6 times 2 is 12, plus 3 is 50, 15. So 150 square inches is the answer. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. These are the questions from sample papers of ASVAB exam. Guys, try this out. Frederick, do you know how to find the cube roots? Anyone having any trouble with finding the cube roots? Like how I got 5 times 5 times 5 equal to 125. I knew that I am a math tutor, so I can do it in my mind. But if you are struggling, let me know. If you're struggling, let me know how to find the cube roots or something like that. So I can help you out. I can just tell you the steps. Yes, please explain. Okay, Julie says yes as well. Now let's say, guys, if I'm taking this number over here, 216. Now, let's say the method which you are going to solve, like which you are going to use to get the cube root of this. What will we do now? We are going to use the prime factorization method. So which is the least prime number that you can divide this 216 with? It's 2. So 216 divided by 2, what would we get? 108, 108. Now I can again divide this 108 by the least prime number, which is 2. So I'll get 54. I can still divide this 54 by 2. So 54 divided by 2 is nothing but 27. Now 27 cannot be divided by 2. Now let's move ahead with 3 now. So 27 can be divided by 3. Yes. 27 divided by 3 is nothing but 9. 9 divided by 3 is nothing but 3. 3 can be divided by 3, which is 1. So what did I get? 216 is equal to 2 times 2 times 2, which is these three numbers, times 3 times 3 times 3. Okay. 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 3. So I can also sum it up like this. 2 to the power 3 times 3 to the power 3, which is nothing but 216. Now, if I just cover this side up in order to for me to make the space for solving, what do we have? 216 equals 2 to the power 3 times 3 to the power 3. If I'm taking cube roots on both sides. So what will I do now? Cube root of 216 will be equal to the cube root of 2 to the power 3 times 3 to the power 3. Now remember, whenever here there is a third root and the power is 3. Whenever there is a third root and the power is 3, you can just cancel them out and a number 2 will come out. If here the number was 4 and the power was 4, you can cancel them both out and the number will come out. Now here again there is 3 and here also the power is 3. So what will happen now? 3 will come out. So cube root of 216 will be equal to 6. So what do we have? The length of this particular cube having 216 as its volume will have its length equal to 6 inches. I hope you guys understood it. If you guys understood it, please let me know, or else I can solve the prime factorization method for the next question as well. Or else I can solve few more questions for prime factorization for finding the cube root. Did you guys get it? Please show me a thumbs up. Daniel, Julie, Jacob, Frederick, did you guys understand it? I understand there are too many numbers in today's class, but surface areas and volumes is going to have lots and lots of calculation in it. Daniel, buddy, Frederick, Julie, Jacob. Okay, Daniel says got it. What I can do is I'll take one more question for prime factorization. Let me do it this way. let's take 1000. If I want to find the cube root of 1000, I'll try to do it easier way. So 1000 divided by 2, it's nothing but 500. 500 can be divided by 2, we have 250. 250 divided by 2, we have 125. 125 cannot be divided by 2, it cannot be divided by 3, it can be divided by 5. So 5, here we have 225. So 25 can be again divided by 5, we have this equal to 5. 5 can be divided by 5 and we have 1 in the end. So what do we do now? Easy step I will tell. If there is a cube root, you just form a pair of 3. If it was a square root, form a pair of 2. If it was the fourth root, form a pair of 4. Now, a pair of 3, you'll get this equal to 2 times a pair of 3 again, which is 5. So cube root of 1000 will be equal to 2 times 5, which is nothing but 10. So cube root of 1000 is equal to 10. I hope you guys understood it. And let's move on to the next question. Oh, it's not a question. We're basically going to move on to the surface area of a rectangular prism. Rectangular prism is nothing but a rectangular box, guys. You must have seen this type of boxes in everyday life. Okay. Now, let us say if we want to find the surface area, if you want to find the surface area of this type of figures, what do we do? Now, instead of this, I'll just call this length as L, this height as H, and I'll call this as width, which will be W. If I want to find the area of this yellow color front face, which is rectangular in nature or rectangular in shape. So the area of rectangle. Daniel, what is the area of rectangle? Frederick, what is the area of rectangle equals to? Length times the width. Okay, but here there is height in place of width. So I'll multiply side by side. Like let's say side times the other side. So here it was height h times the L. Now, we already know there is similar shape from the back side of this. So what will I do now? I'll just add. I'm adding the surface area of all these surfaces. This was the front and the back face. Now I'm going to talk about this part, which is W is one part, W is one length, and the height is the other length. So what will be the area of it? W times height plus, we have it from this end as well, W times H. Next, I'll be talking about the bottom and the top. So the bottom has W and L. W and L. So what do we have? L times W plus L times W. If we add this all, what do we get as total? L times H plus L times H. So we have this equal to 2LH. This will be equal to 2WH. This will be equal to 2LW. If we add all of this, what will we get? 2LH plus 2WH plus 2LW. I know it will be a little bit difficult for you to remember, but please write it down. It's nothing but 2 times. I'll just take 2 commons, which is length times the height in bracket or parenthesis, plus width times the height plus length times the width. Please note this down. Surface area of a rectangular prism will be nothing but 2 times, in parenthesis we have length times height plus width times height plus length times width. Guys, just note it down for now. And while solving the questions, you will be able to see how exactly this formula, like this written formula, are going to help you out. Write it down. Come on, guys. Okay. Let's move on to the next slide. So the next slide is nothing but the volume of rectangular prism. Now, if you remember, what did I tell you about volume of any 3D shape? Volume is nothing but base area times the height. So this is the base area. This is the base. What will be its area? Length times the depth, or we can call it as width. So what will I do now? Length times width. And what is the height? This h is the height. So volume of any rectangular prism would be nothing but length times width times height. You can even call it as breadth. Okay, I hope you guys understood this. You have written it down. Let's move on for solving the next few questions. Let me read the question first. An aquarium measures 16 inches long. That means its length is 16 inches, 8 inches deep, and 8 inches high. Whenever you understand, it is basically a rectangular shaped box or rectangular shaped, like let's say any device or equipment, and they want you to find the volume of it. The first instant, what you should do is length times width times height. What will you do? 16 times 8 times 18. So first, what will I do? I'll solve this 16 times 8. Let me solve it over here. 16 times 8. 8 times 6 is 48. Carry the 4 over. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 4, 12. So 128 times 18. Let me solve this now. 128 times 18. 8 times 8 is nothing but 64. 8 times 2 is 16 plus 6, 22. Carry the 2 over. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 2, 10. Now I'm moving on to the digit at the tens place. So I'll put a 0 over here. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. Add it up. So we have 4. 8 plus 2 is 10. Carry the 1 over 3, 2. So what do we have? 2304 cubic inches as our answer. So option A is correct. I hope you guys understood it. It was just simple plain multiplication. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question says the surface area of a cuboid shaped box having length equals to this breadth, or you can even call it as width equal to 40 centimeter, and the height is 20 centimeter. Guys, can you please try solving this? Go ahead and solve it. I want you to solve it ASAP. You have 2 minutes to solve this. Come on, Frederick, Daniel, Julie, Jacob. Solve it, guys. Come on. Cuboid. Cuboid means nothing but rectangular shaped. Or rectangular prism. Find, you need to find the surface area for this. So the surface area is going to be nothing but equal to 2 times length times width plus width times height plus height times length. So you can call this thing as your height, this thing as your width, and this thing as your length. Jacob got 5600. It's not there in the option, buddy. You have to find the surface area, not the volume. Okay, let me find it for you. Surface area formula is here in front of your eyes. 2 times. Length is nothing but 80 times. Width is nothing but 40 plus. Width is 40 times. Height is nothing but 20. Let's add up. Here we have height is nothing but 20 times the length is nothing but 80. Let's solve it 2 times. 80 times 40. So I'll just put this 0, 0 over here, two zeros. Whenever there's multiplication, simply put the zeros to the right hand side. 4 times 3 is not 4 times 8 is nothing but 32. Plus, I'll put this 0, 0. 2 times 4 is nothing but 8. Plus 0, 0. We have this 8 times 2 is nothing but 16. Now, let's write it down. 2 equals 2 times. I'll add everything up. 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 0 over here. Then let's move on to the next digit. 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 0 again. Now we have 6 plus 8 is 14. 14 plus 2 is nothing but 16. Carry the 1 over. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 3 is nothing but 5. So what do we have? 2 times 5600 will be your complete answer. So 2 times. Let me multiply this. 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 6 is 12, carry the 1 over. 2 times 5 is 10 plus 1, 11. So 11200 square centimeter will be your answer. So I hope you understood. There is a lot of calculation, I know, but if you do the multiplication properly, you can easily get your question correct. Here the steps are more, but there are high chances of getting this type of questions correct. Only you need to do, what you need to do is multiply and add the numbers correctly. Okay, there is not much concept in this. Okay, the question says, what's the volume of a box measuring 12 inches long? So I'll write this L equals to 12 inches. Deep means, let me write this, width equals to 8 inches and the height equals to 10 inches. So you guys just have to find the volume. Volume is nothing but length times width times height. Give me the answer fast. I already have three answers. Frederick has answered A, Julie has answered A, Daniel has answered A. You guys got it right. Awesome. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question is in front of your eyes. Here. Solve it, guys. What is the volume of a rectangular prism with a height of 10 centimeter, a length of 5 centimeter, and a width of 6 centimeter? I think you guys know what to do. Just get down to work on it and give me the answer ASAP. Daniel has already answered. Julie has answered. Oh, you guys are getting it too fast. That's awesome. Frederick, 300. Awesome. 300 centimeter cube. Guys, this 3 should be on the top, but because of some printing editing error, it's just down. So the correct answer is nothing but 300 centimeter cube. Awesome, guys. All of you got it right. Let's move on to the next question. A rectangle measures 12 centimeter by 3 centimeter by 9 centimeter. What is its volume? You have 90 seconds. Your time starts now. I already have an answer. Frederick says it's C. Okay. Daniel says it is C. That's right, guys. The answer is going to be 12 times 3 times 9, which is nothing but 324 centimeter cube. All of you got it right. Let's move on to the next part of this particular class, wherein we are going to learn about cylinders, which we use in everyday life. Okay, so the surface area of the cylinder, basically the surface area is nothing but, if you think of painting a cylinder, it would be 2 pi r h plus 2 pi r square. So this 2 pi r square, as we already know, pi r square is the area of circle. So this is the top circle and the bottom circle. Pi r square, because there are two circles, it has been written 2, and this 2 pi r h, it is for this particular surface. Okay, the round shape of the circle, or a round shape of the cylinder, that has nothing but 2 pi r h. Now if I take out something common, it will be 2 pi r. 2 pi r from this, 2 pi r from this. What is remaining? H plus R. So this will be your surface area for cylinder, where pi is equal to 3.14 or 22 over 7. You can use any one of them. Please note it down somewhere. And after that, once you've written it down, I'll just move on to the next slide. Okay, guys, I'll move on to the next slide in 3, 2, 1. Okay, now the volume of the cylinder. So the volume of the cylinder, guys, as I have told you before, volume of anything is base area times height. So what is the base? The base here is nothing but a circle. So we have pi r square as the circle. And what is the height? I'll call this as h. So the volume of cylinder is nothing but pi r square h, where r is the radius, h is the height of the cylinder. I hope you guys have understood this. Now, if you have written it down, I'm going to move on to solve some questions. Pi r square h is the volume of the cylinder. Please solve this. If the radius of the cylinder is nothing but 4 centimeter, radius is 4 centimeter, and height is nothing but 10 centimeters. Total surface area of the cylinder. So what do we know? Surface area. I'll write this as surface area as I say 2 pi r h plus r. So 2 times 3.14 times the radius is 4 times the height is 10 plus 4. So what will I do now? 2.3, 2 times 3.14 times 4 times 14. So I'll just multiply all these digits. 2 times 4 is nothing but 8. So 8 times 3.14 times 14. So I'll multiply this. 14 and 8 first. 8 times 4 is nothing but 32. Carry the 3 over. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 3. 8 times 8 plus 3 will be 11. So what will I do now? 112 times 3.14. Let me solve this question over here. So 3.14 times 112. We'll just take these two digits off. So what will I do now? 314 times 112. Let's multiply it now. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Put a 0 over here. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. Put two zeros over here because we are moving at the hundreds place. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. Add everything up. What do we get? 8, 6. This is 10 plus 1, 11. Carry the 1 over. So what do we have? 3 plus 1, 4. 4 plus 1, 5. And here we have 3. So we have 351.68. You remember these two digits? Let's move them back. So we have 351.68. So which will be nothing but approximately 352 square centimeter will be our answer if we round it up. So I hope you guys understood this as well. Let's move on to the next question. I'll solve this question for you as well. The radii is basically the plural of radius. If there are multiple radiuses, you will call it as radii. Of two cylinders are in the ratio of 2 is to 3. So what will I do? This is case 1, case 2. Let's say this radius is 2x, this is 3x. Just imagine there will be some x that will be common factor for both of them, which must have been reduced down when it came down to the simplest form of ratio. So we'll just keep it as 2x and 3x. Now, the height are in the ratio 5y and 3y. Now, we need to find volume of them. So I'll call this as volume 1, volume 2. So let me write down what will be the volume of the first case. It will be nothing but pi r1 square, or I'll just write it down. The radius is nothing but 2x square times the height is nothing but 5y, and the volume of the second part would be nothing but pi r is nothing but 3x square times 3y. We want to take their ratios. So I'll just put the values over here. Pi 2x square. I can just write that 2x square as times 4 times x square times this 5y will remain as it is, and here the volume of the second cylinder will be pi. This 3x square will become 9 times x square times 3y. Let me just try to simplify it now. This pi will just get cancelled out. X square cancelled out. Y cancelled out. So what do we have now? This is 4 times 5, which is 20. 9 times 3, which is nothing but 27. 27 over here. So 20 over 27, or 20 is to 27 will be the correct answer and the ratio of their volumes. I hope you guys understood it. Do you guys want me to explain it once again? Or did you get it? Frederick, Daniel, Julie, Jacob, did you guys understand it? Go over. Okay, I'll do it again. Here. Now, let's say the radii of two cylinders. So let's say there are two cases. This cylinder 1, this cylinder 2. Okay. They are in the ratio. The radii are in the ratio. So R1 is equal to 2x. Just imagine there was some number x which got cut off or which got reduced in the ratio when it came to the simplest form 2 is to 3. So this R2 will become 3x. Now, the height h1 is nothing but 5y, h2 will be nothing but 3y, and we need to find the volumes, the ratio of the volume. I'll take v1 over v2. So what do we have? What will be the volume of this? So it will be pi r1 square h over pi r2 square h, which will be equal to nothing but, now let me substitute the values, pi times, what is the radius over here? 2x square. What is the height? 5y. Next, what is pi is pi. Now what is the radius of the second one? It's 3x square times 3y. What can I do now? I can just cancel this pi first. This y can be cancelled. This 2x whole square will become 4x squared times 5 over this 3x can become 9x squared times 3. X square will get cancelled. What is remaining? 4 times 5, which is 20. 9 times 3, which is nothing but 27. So we have 20 is to 27 as our answer. Frederick, did you understand it better now? Yep, Frederick got it. Guys, let's move on to the next question. You guys are going to solve it now. Okay, this is easy question. A cylinder has a diameter of 10 inches. What is its approximate base area? You guys don't have to find the surface area. You just have to find the base area, which is a circle. Jacob says A. Yes, Jacob, you're right. So what are they saying? This is a cylinder where the radius is 10 inches and you need to find this area only. So this is nothing but a circle. First thing, what do you need to do? Find the radius. Radius is nothing but diameter divided by 2. So we have 10 divided by 2. So 5. 10 divided by 5. Sorry, 10 divided by 2 would be 5. So radius will be equal to 5. And what do we have? The base area. Base is nothing but circle. So pi r square. So pi times 5 square. Pi times 5 times 5. So we have 25 pi as our answer. So Jacob, the correct answer was B. Because I think you took 10 as the radius directly, whereas 10 was the diameter. Do not forget to take out the radius first, because all the formulas that we have written in our notebook are radius based, not the diameter based. They might try to confuse you by giving you the diameter. Divide the diameter by 2 and get your radius first. Okay, guys. Oh, yes, it is radius square. Yes, Jacob. Now here, guys, again they are trying to trick you. A cylinder has a diameter of 12 inches. What does that mean? Radius will be 12 divided by 2. So 6 inches. Radius is 6 inches. And the height is 10 inches. So R is equal to, let's say, 6 inches. And height is equal to 10 inches. What is its approximate volume? I'll just write down the formula for you. It's pi r square h. Now multiply everything and get me the answer. ASAP. I have an answer. Julie says C. Okay, Julie, let's wait for other members to solve it. Solve it, guys. Come on. Frederick, Daniel, Jacob. Daniel says, yeah, it's C. Jacob says C. Frederick, waiting for you, buddy. Frederick also says it is C. Let's move on to the next question. Oh, we don't have any more questions left from this particular PowerPoint. Now, guys, it is, as you know, it is nothing but our quiz time. So let me just take out the quiz. You guys just give me few seconds so that I can share the screen and you guys can enjoy playing the quiz. Here we go. Start. Solve it carefully. I'm going to share the link in the chat box. Yeah, I'll make sure I'm sending it to the whole group, not like yesterday. I hope you guys can see the link, join it, and enter the join code, which is 895750. Julie has joined. Daniel is on board. Jacob is on board. Frederick, waiting for you, buddy. Frederick, have you joined? Okay. I'll be starting the quiz in 10 seconds. Frederick has joined as well. So let's start it, guys. I have your scoreboard with me. Take your time in solving the questions. All those guys who are going to go through the recording, you can also solve it. You can pause the screen or you can solve it. This is your first question. The second questions. All those who are going to see the recording after the class has been conducted live, you can just pause the video and solve the questions. This is the second question over here. Here is the third question. Here is the fourth question. We have fifth question over here. Sixth question is here. And here we have the seventh question. So I'm going to go back to the leaderboard now. Jacob is currently leading. Frederick, take your time, buddy. It's fine. Take your time in solving the quiz. If you guys need help in solving this, I can also help you out. Frederick, are you able to solve the questions? Okay, guys, you can take this as your practice homework, all these questions, and then you can ask me the questions in tomorrow's class. Okay, let me know if you have any questions, like if you want me to solve any particular question from this. Okay, Frederick says okay. No worries, buddy. I'll be sharing the recording in YouTube. You guys can go over it again. And if you have any doubts, you can ask me in tomorrow's class. Okay. Shall I end the quiz? There we go. Let us see who is the champion of today's class. So the champion of today's class is none other than Jacob again. That's awesome, Jacob. Okay. So guys, that is it for the day today. Do you have some questions that you want to ask me? Or you understood everything? Okay. So, the quiz questions, you can try solving them again and you can ask me them in the WhatsApp group, or you can even message me about those. I will help you out for solving them. If not, we'll try to solve them in tomorrow's class. Okay. So it was pleasure meeting you all in today's class as well. We'll meet again tomorrow in the same classroom at the same time. Okay. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you.